So NPs including Akhilesh Yadav, T.R. Balu, Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra and K.C. Venugopal protesting in front of the Mahatma Gandhi statue in the Parliament complex on the December 16, 2025. They were protesting the introduction of the new Vikasit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission Gramin VBG Ramji Bill 2025, which is intended to replace the MGNREG Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act. So very important legislation change. The new VBG Ramji Bill 2025 proposes to replace the existing MGNREG scheme. This is the very most important. So MGNREG scheme name will be existing name. The scheme name will be changed by the VBJ Ramji 2025 bill. This is the legislation change. Opposition objections. Opposition parties objected primarily to removal of the Mahatma Gandhi's name from the scheme's title, calling it is an insult to the father of the nation. So mainly opposition leaders and opposition parties will be objected to the present government removal of the name Mahatma Gandhi's name from the scheme's title. That is a calling it is an insult father of nation. So they also criticized the changes in the funding pattern which would be increase the financial burden on the states. 9 is to 10 center state sharing to 60 is to 40 for the most states. So criticized one of the first opposition parties mainly objection is Mahatma Gandhi name change in the scheme's title. Second one, financial burden on the states. Funding pattern is a very increases burden to the states. Government stands. The Union Minister for Agriculture, who is the Union Minister of Agriculture, Sivaraj Singh Chauhan, introduced the bill. What is the bill? VBG Ramji bill introduced the Union Minister for Agriculture and Agriculture, Sivaraj Singh Chauhan introduced the bill. This is the most important. Who introduced the VBG Ramji bill? So Sivaraj Singh Chauhan, stating it was in accordance with Gandhi's vision. Is a statement. Union Minister Agriculture, Union Minister said statement. Gandhi's vision of Ramarajya. Gandhi's vision Ramarajya and aims to comprehensive rural development. What is the vision of Gandhi's? Comprehensive rural development. This bill increases the guaranteed employment days from 100 to 125 days annually. The very most important for competitive aspirants. The bill also increases the guaranteed employment days from 100 to 125 days annually. This is the Union Minister of Agriculture Sivaraj Singh Chauhan statement 2. Gandhi's vision of the Ramarajya, this bill and comprehensive rural development. So this bill increases the guaranteed employment days 100 to 125 days annually. Nationwide protest. Congress party announced the nationwide protest against the bill following events in the parliament. So next, MGNREG name change controversy. The central government introduced the VB Ramji Bill 2025 in the Lok Sabha, which sparked heated debate with the opposition. Heated debate. The opposition, led by the Congress leader Wayanad MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, strongly protested removal of Mahatma Gandhi's name from the scheme, calling it as an insult and conspiracy to weaken the act. So Priyanka Gandhi stated, first one, removal of Gandhi name from the scheme, calling it as an insult and conspiracy, and also to weaken the MGNREG Act. Union Agriculture Minister Sivaraj Singh Chauhan introduced the bill, stating that government respects the Gandhi principles, but Agriculture Minister, Union Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan statement: the government respects the Gandhiji principles and bill aims for the welfare of the poor. The bill also very clear, respects the Gandhi principles and also aims for the welfare for the poor. During the debate, Priyanka Gandhi responded to ruling the party comments by stating that Mahatma Gandhi was not just from her family but member of every family in the country. Opposition members subsequently staged walkout and held protest at the Gandhi statue in the Parliament complex. 100% FDI in insurance. The Lok Sabha also passed the Sabka Bhima Sabka Raksha. Very important. Sabka Bima Sabki Raksha. Amendment of insurance laws. What is the Sabka Bhima Sabka Raksha means? Amendment of the Insurance Laws Bill 2025. The amendment opposition protest the bill increases the maximum FDI in the insurance sector from existing 70% to 100%. The bill increases the maximum FDI in the insurance sector from existing 74% to 100%. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said. So who introduced the bill stated that increases in FDI would boost. What is the use of this Sabka Bhima Sabka Raksha? Increase in FDI. How much increases? 74% to 100%. So this can help boost the competition, improve insurance rates and penetration. The bill also aims to strengthen the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India IRDA. Strengthen with enhanced enforcement of powers. The government attributes the changes to, so what is the MGNREG? Replace the VBG Ramji. What is the use? Stating that development, where development, socio-economic developments in the rural India. The stating that original framework is outdated. MGNREGA scheme original framework is outdated, is not present days rural area is not supporting like that. The proposed changes have generated political debate. Increasing the guaranteed workdays for a rural household annually from 100 to 125 days. This is a very important for competitive aspirants. Shifting from the demand driven funding model where the central government covered 100% of unskilled wage cost to supply driven model with fixed allocations and state bearing substantial portion 40% for the most states of the total cost. Moving from the more flexible work planning system to the based on pre-planned Vikasit Gram Panchayat plans. What is the use of a new bill? Moving from more flexible work planning system to one based on pre-planned Vikasit Gram Panchayati plans linked to the national infrastructure goals. Prioritizing work in areas such as water security, core rural infrastructure, livelihood related infrastructure and climate resiliency as opposed to general manual labor. Introducing the provision of the states pass the work up to 60 days during the peak agriculture seasons to ensure sufficient farm labor. It's a very important. So new bill pass the work for up to 60 days during the agriculture seasons. Very important. 60 days agriculture seasons pass the work to ensure sufficient farm labor. The government anticipates several benefits from these changes. The laborers there is the potential for a higher annual income through more guaranteed work days, and digital payments is aimed to improve the wage delivery and reduce the theft. Farmers could benefit from the ability to pass the work during the peak seasons, means agriculture season 60 days pass the work. That way the farmers could benefit from the ability. The helping to ensure farm labor availability and stabilize the wages for rural economy. The focus on creating durable assets is expected to strengthen the economy and potential reduce the distress migration. So migration is a very important factor nowadays in the rural area, that is will be reduced through this bill, VB Ramji bill. Okay. Next, proposal has also drawn criticism from opposition parties regarding the removal of Mahatma Gandhi's name and increase the financial burden on the states. So opposition 2 points mainly criticizing against the bill. One is Mahatma Gandhi's name change. Second one is increased the financial burden on the states. What is the benefit of the changing the name? Central government also proposed the new law to replace the MGNREGA. It has been framed in the name of Viksit Bharat. What is the name? Framed the name Vikasit Bharat Guarantee for Rozgar and Ajivika Mission. Gramin Nibi G Ramji Bill 2025. In the backdrop of this being topic of the discussion, central government sources say that aim of a VNG Ramji is to make employment guarantee scheme flawless. There is a criticism over removal of Mahatma Gandhi's name from the employment guarantee scheme. However, the government sources are expressing the different opinions. Many changes have taken place into the 2 decades since the employment guarantee was introduced. Many changes have taken place in the 2 decades. Means 20 years. So many changes. So that why introduced the employment guarantee was introduced. Official statistics show that poverty has come down from 25.7% to 2011 to 12, 4.86%. According to the surveys like MPCE and NABARD RECSS, consumption, income and availability of financial resources are increasing. Consumption and income, availability of financial resources are increasing in the country. The government feels that old law is not sufficient for social protection. It is outdated. The government feels like that. Old law is not sufficient for social protection and outdated. Better connectivity, access to digital resources and creation of diverse livelihoods in the current. The scheme has been known as keeping the rural India free during the worst times. There are arguments that it would be better if it is were updated shoot the times. To that extent, the scheme has a lot of to offer. Despite the changes, structural problems have not been solved. In fact, despite the increases in the women's participation, so women participation increases, Aadhaar linkages, Aadhaar based payments, geotagging assets, e-payments and personal past assets, misuse of funds continues. Digital attendance is being evaded. Very important. Digital attendance will be taken into the new scheme name. There is a gap between the expenditure incurred and the creation of assets. So expenditure incurred and creation of assets is a large, very big gap between them. The government circles think that the way to correct these to bring completely new system. Correct the government circles think, what is the thinking? It is a way to correct the completely new system. So so many corrections on the existing scheme. Proposed new law will correct the structural flaws and in the old schemes and increase the efficiency, transparency, planning, accountability, authorities. These all will be correct by the new law will. In this, number of working days will increase from 100 to 125. Very important once again, which will provide more income to rural families. In the past, work was done without any strategy. In the past, work was done without any strategy. Now, work should be done in accordance with plans of Vikasit Gram Panchayat is a very important. Work was done without any strategy in the past. Now Work should be done in accordance with the plans of Vikasit Gram Panchayat. As part of this, priority will be given to the creating water security. Very, very, very important. Most priority to given to the water security. Water security. Rural infrastructure will be expanded and livelihood security facilities will be prioritized. Priority, most priority given to them. Rural infrastructure expanded, livelihood security facilities will be prioritized. Special works required to deal with the adverse weather conditions will be undertaken on permanent basis. So creation of useful assets increase the in people's income will strengthen the rural economy. Water based works, groundwater will increase with priority. In addition, making markets accessible to rural areas, roads will be built and increase the business activities. Roads will be built, increase the business activities. Warehouse facilities and markets will be set up. Infrastructure required for water conservation, flood water drainage and land conservation will be created. The center hopes that migration will be decreases as working days increases. Very, very important. Once again, migration will decreases as working days increases and income increases. However, the main question is what will be the benefit to the farmer from the new law? The government answer is that availability of laborers will increase by stopping work for 60 days during the agricultural season. So what is the benefit to the farmers? 60 days pass the work in the agriculture season. So availability of labor is very high in the passing work new scheme. Another idea is that labor rates and food prices will not able to be controlled. Water based works will increase the availability of water and allow for cultivation of multiple crops. The availability of roads, warehouses, markets will reduce the losses for farmers. Flood water, canals and water land conservation works will be reduce the crop losses. Preparing Vikasit Gram Panchayat plans in advance will help know advance where and what work will be done. So very important, Vikasit Gram Panchayat plans will help to know advance where and what work will be done. Digital payments through Aadhaar based checks will be curb wage fraud. Laborers will benefit from the asset creation. Laborers will benefit from the asset creation. Employment will have legal protection as unemployment allowance will be mandatory if work is not provided. That's it. A burden to the states. Recent inspection was conducted 23 states related to employment guarantee. It was found that work was not commensurate with expenses incurred. It was found that work was done with machines. The national mobile monitoring system attendance was bypassed on the large scale. Misuse the hundreds of crores of rupees. Huge leakages were revealed. The center's idea is to put a stop to this with new law. In that order, frauds will be identified based on the artificial intelligence. Frauds will be identified by the AI. There will be steering committee under the auspices of central and state governments to monitor the implementations of the scheme. Since the work is undertaken based on the plans, the monitoring of the panchayats on them will increase. The work will be monitored based on the GPS and mobile. Real-time MIS dashboards will be set up. The work undertaken will be disclosed every week. Social audits will be conducted twice a year in the every Gram Panchayat. Is very important. And the responsibility of rural employment generation lies with local governments. Therefore, states will now have to share cost of the schemes as well as the responsibility. If the central government is limited to supervision, very important, central government is limited to supervision, the state government should be responsible. That is the most important. State government should be responsible for the implementation and accountability. There is an opinion that partnership approach will reduce the misuse of funds. Key doubt is whether new law will increase the financial burden on the states. However, the center says that doing all this keeping in the mind financial situation of the states, overall it remains to be seen whether the new law will yield expected positive results.